Yo, this is Yizzy. Thanks for dropping by and checking out my content. Make sure you like and subscribe because I'll be coming out with more content of improving deck lists or whatever it may be and my journey to Nats. So here we go. For this video, also, I want to do like a narration type instead of point of view in person just because this person's kind of on the newer scale and I think we can learn something from this either way, how to proceed with Sakazuki and how to set up some of your hands. So right now I activate leader ability. I like to put this Croc Neon Cat on there, Borsalino, just because he's kind of more of a late game character, and I go ahead and pass. I'm looking at my hand right now. It is kind of good mid late game. I've got the Kuzan, I've got some Houndblaze to bottom deck. I don't know what Crocodile does in this matchup. I know he can't really keep up with the pace of the meta decks right now. I asked him if he's not swinging a Croc. He said no. I'm assuming there might be a Gadatsu. That way he's trying to starve me or kind of giving Gadatsu that reach a little bit higher because Croc is yellow and purple. I go ahead and swing 5 and he takes. So activate leader ability. That's an easy pitch for Hina. I grab a Great Eruption. It was an easy Kuzan drop and go ahead and draw a card. And you see I hit that Rebecca. So I have pretty much my hand has all the pieces I need to remove and control board all I want. I had to read this Yokohama Frog. It's like Dawn -1, return a 2 or 3 costs back to hand or something like that. So I'm like, that's interesting. I'm not sure how I should approach this deck list, but I don't think I can keep up with this tempo. So I go ahead and pass. I don't know what I'm saying to the dude right now. Oh, I was like, since he was new, I was like, oh, it's probably easier to like counter Dawn if you like turn over to Dawn on your side. It confuses me sometimes when people put it the other way around because I'm like, wait, how much Dawn do they have? Because a part of this game is kind of predicting and what your opponent will do next turn, right? So you go ahead and drops. The light is there. I don't know what he drops. But he swings 5 at me. I usually like to take my first life just because as a Sakazuki deck, you do want to have a bunch of pieces to combo whatever you're trying to remove off board. If there was like another character and he was going to swing like a 6 and a 7 or a 7 and a 6, I probably would defend the first one and let him swing with the second one. Try not to take 2 life a turn, but 1 is fine. Let's see. Go ahead and pitch the Hina just because sometimes I would keep the Hina, but the fact that my hand is filled with a lot of reducers, Hina is a easy pitch for me. And I can recur Hina with Rebecca like always. I go ahead and activate Great Eruption. Another tip is go ahead and draw first before you realize what you want to minus because sometimes that one card that you draw could change what line you want to take. So right here, I'm just kind of calculating what I want to do. Oh, that's right. It was the Amazon lady that he dropped. Sorry for the glare. I'll try to do better on that side. So when attacking, you can activate her main, you rest her, and your opponent either takes a life or takes a minus 2,000 from a character. So it's a pretty interesting effect. So I go ahead and Great Eruption that Amazon because she can be annoying. Very good card, but in this format, the sole fact that 3 costs are pretty easily removed by all the meta decks I guess it's not much of a contender as a good character card. I go ahead and drop it. I give the 3,000 to Kuzan, and I go ahead and swing at live. He goes and blocks with that frog. I would like to mention, I don't know if people will shark you with the Houndblaze, but you do have to establish the 3,000 first before you bottom deck. I know in a sim it catches me off guard, so if you are playing competitive or going to regionals, I would take that into consideration because people could shark you and say, no, you bottom deck this first. You didn't establish the 3,000, kind of like the Newgate effect. So there's a good little pointer right there. So right here, you see I established the Tashigi. Just kind of want to set up my plays, get my board wide. Tashigi's not a bad play just because he doesn't really have anything for me to remove at the moment. And whatever he gets down, I get a -2. And with the Kuzan, that's 4 + 2, 6. plus the leader, that's 7 on top of a Houndblade. So any 9 costs he sends out is just getting bottom deck. But we can see he only has 7 Dons. So whatever comes out is going to get removed. Summons another frog. Like I said, he was newer to this game. So I'm doing this commentary base just to kind of think about what you want to keep, what you want to pitch from hand. And he sends out Mr. 3. I believe it gives your character negative 1,000 minus 1 Don when they attack, and he swings 5. So this is an easy 1k. Just keep my life healthy. My hand is super healthy, so there's no reason to take a life. The main character for the Croc deck, I know, is the Big Body Croc, where he can just keep healing a life. So we're at 8 Don now. This is a pretty easy remove. I have the Houndblades in hand. I have another Kuzan. So I think I'm just going to keep setting up my board, start playing Kuzans, keep my hand healthy, and he's just get as wide as possible, and he's just going to have to address everything I do. So there we go. Drop another Kuzan because there's nothing really threatening on his board right now. I'm looking at my hand, seeing how I want to set things up. Half the time is that, yeah, the lines are pretty easy, but you really want to consider your next plays and what they want to do. Like I said, I had to read Mr. 3. I'm like, what are all these characters? Like, I remember playing them pre-release, but I don't know what they do anymore. So I was like, okay, I don't really have to worry about anything when it comes to that. But as Sakazuki, you just want to keep removing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and activate Great Eruption. Come on, Yizzy. Come on, Yizzy. All right, there we go. Great Eruption. We're going to draw a card, figure out what I want to remove. Manshare is perfect. Just kind of, at this moment, I would assume it's just like a win more card. So I'm going to go ahead and Great Eruption. Just kind of remove any threat on the board. So that guy's gone. I'm going to give it to my leader. I think I should give it to Toshigi. Yeah. And let him swing at that. Right, Yizzy? Right. So we're just gonna go ahead and 6 first. I mean, I don't have to worry about any thunderbolts or whatever it may be. And then go ahead and swing 7. 4 is actually a perfect number. Kind of like I play Hina in my deck as well. So with Houndblades, you just hit magic numbers kind of for free. So he counters out with the new Croc event. I know that event gives him that plus 1,000 for the rest of the turn. So maybe he could have activated that early. So a little small misplay on his end. So I go ahead and pass. I pitched Rebecca because I think I have another Rebecca in my hand. Oh, there we go. Mancherry. I'm assuming I have a Rebecca. Yeah, so I have a Rebecca. I want to keep my options open. So, I can bottom deck any 5, 6. Yeah, so Borsalino is going to get rid of anything. He's at that Croc range where he can heal. So I'm assuming that's what he's going to do. So there it is. Tapping all 9 Dawn and playing 8 Dawn. That's right, it's 8. And Crocodile effect, he's going to return 1 Dawn back and heal a life. And this is kind of where the momentum shifts. But as Sakazuki, you can kind of remove it before he even gets anything started. So he just swings 5. This is probably an easy 1k counter. I don't need Saba right now because I have all the pieces. But I guess I'm getting greedy and taking out these Suru, which is not bad because she is a reducer. She's also a 2k. So worst case scenario, I drop a Sabo and he's just unable to remove it. I think I just bottom deck it, kind of establish another big body, and that way I can get wide as possible and also have high-end threats. So I have 9 Dawn right there. So he cost 8, correct? So 8, I guess that just takes a Ice Age, and I have so much reducers at this moment that it doesn't really matter the Ice Age or not. And I want to add something. So Kuzan, if he sticks on board, he's really threatening. I know people have gone down on their Kuzan count, but you also have to realize Kuzan is bad because it doesn't have counter and it just gets Thunderbolt or whatever it may be, but they still have to commit resources to removing it. So I think Kuzan is still a really good card. As you can see, he just can't remove Kuzan, and I'm just getting value after value. So I dropped the Borsalino, which bottom decks the Crocodile. Bye-bye, Crocodile. I'm sorry, it was very short-lived. So I still have 3 Elan left. I'm going to play the Mancherry and just start reoccurring cards. That way he can't bring the game back. Because at that point, it's just a win more card. I dropped Mancherry down to 1 as well. I'll come out with a deck profile on like reasons why I have certain ratios. I'll go ahead and address Mancherry though. For the most part, I always counter with Mancherry, or I will pitcher because there's other cards and other lines of play that are just better than Mancherry. Mancherry is more of like a third option, which combos well with the other decks. But I'm not going to get rid of a Hina because the Rebecca Hina Lucci combo is just crazy. Lucci is just insane. Kuzan already run 2 of. Borsalino is my top end, so if anything was to cut Mancherry, I still run 1. So if anything, she can still bring back the Rebecca's, and I can do that 1 loop. And most of the time, you should be in lethal range if you're going to loop it more than once or twice. So 1's good enough. So he swings 5. I just go ahead and counter with Borsalino, and he passes. So like I said, me personally, I like to go ahead and draw first before I do my Dawn, just because I know a lot of people will refresh, you know, Dawn, and they'll be like, oh, did I draw? And they'll have to look at their hand like, oh, no, I had these cards. So I like to draw first. Little tip right there, something that I do. I know you can't see what that middle card is. It should be a Tashigi, right? I believe so. So right here, now that he has a board for me to kind of clear, I'm probably going to rob Lucci everything. Everything's going to get removed. And like I said, my board is so wide at this point, Mancherry is kind of useless too. Other than like spending 1 Dawn just to get another card and just kind of keep my hand super healthy. So go ahead and Mancherry. Probably just grab a Borsalino. Because towards the end, I noticed that it's very effective. Once you kind of get established and you're just removing, you drop 1 or 2 blockers and you just kind of live off the blockers, because as Sakazuki goes, he doesn't really have that much counter in his hand. So he really lives off his blockers. Very weak against a rush, I've noticed. So we're going to go ahead and use that Ice Age I've been holding on for years and years. And go ahead and rob Lucci his blocker and his Miss All Sunday. Another tip, I usually put back events first, just because you can't reoccur your events. I'll also say always pile shuffle after you play Sakazuki, because the first tournament I think I played in this, not this one, but during pre-release, I would have cards stuck together. And I know people are always saying like, I whiffed or I bricked. And I think it's because after they stack and rob Lucci, they'll have 1 game, 1 or 2 good games. And then they realize, oh, I'm not hitting these cards that I really want. It's because you stack your deck when you put stuff back, or you keep it, or you organize your trash. So I like to pile shuffle right afterwards. Because in my opinion, cards that like are near each other, no matter how much you shuffle, sometimes cards stick together. Like I've had multiple games where like 2 Hinos were always grouped up together, and that's because I didn't shuffle or like spent a tremendous amount of time shuffling. So I like to pile shuffle personally. So here we go. What am I doing? I'm just, at this point, I think the game is over. He probably has like 2 cards in hand. So I'm just swinging. Super healthy live. He's not rush. And so at this point, the game is over. Just to end on a good note, or end on some note, when you're cycling through cards at Sakazuki, you don't always have to pitch Hina. Just make sure you have removals, make sure you have reducers, make sure you can address the threat that they could possibly be playing next turn. Make sure you like, subscribe for more content and tutorials or matchup-based decks, and I'll be posting out more different contents and even market-wise. So I hope you subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you later.